Hello, I'm Eric from Bosch and I'd like to show you the AXT 25D drum shredder. This shredder, as opposed to the rapid shredder that you've probably seen before, uses a drum cutter, a really slow moving drum cutter. It only runs at 45 revs per minute, but it's got monster torque. So this is more suited to woodier materials. So if you've been cutting back shrubs and trees and want to get rid of those branches, use them as composting, or at least make them more manageable to take down the dump, then this is the product for you. It will deal with the softer stuff, but it's more biased towards woody stuff, and will take branches up to 40+ millimeters in diameter, depending on the type of wood. What do we mean by a drum shredder? Well, if I just lift this little lid here and tilt the machine towards you, you may be able to see the drum cutter down into that little pit there. That's where the action happens, and you might be thinking, well, that's a bit dangerous. Just a plastic lid there exposes the cutter, but of course the machine is not complete right now. The components you need to build it up really quickly are in the base of the tool, and I'll show you how that goes together in a minute. But should you be silly enough to plug the product in, you will just get a little alarm and it won't run. It's interlocked in that way. So I'll just put it back on its stand. It has two big wheels at the back which make it quite easy to move around, even though it's fairly meaty, with a big 2.5 kilowatt motor, which is what the 25 means. Underneath here you have a plastic bin which collects the shreddings, so to speak. Slides out, so when you're not using the product, you can park it in a fairly confined space in the garage or the shed. This is the hopper where you introduce the material, and the hopper goes on top of the machine like this. You drop it in to the front here first, drop it down like that, let go of the little flap, and then you need to tighten it here with this securing knob. If you don't do that, if you forget, again, the machine will not run. You'll just get an alarm because it's detecting that the hopper is not secure. You might just be able to hear the beeping sound. Why? The hopper is secure. Well, that's because the collection bucket here, the collection tray, has not been installed, and that has an interlock on it as well. So it's not possible to run the machine without this in place. Obviously, otherwise you may find someone with inquisitive fingers puts their hand up inside the machine and gets a nasty surprise. So you need to put the collection bucket in place underneath. There we go. And now the machine should run. Green button for forward, meaning take the material through and shred it. You have a stop button should the machine jam, and you also have an intermittent reverse button, so if you want to reverse the cutter and take out a piece of heavier dead wood that may be jamming the mechanism, you can do that all on this control panel. So as you can see, the AXT 25D deals very well with woody branches and the sort of the heavier stuff that you might be shredding in the garden. But one point I want to make, if I just take the waste tray out of here and show you what's going on, particularly with the wood, rather than just chopping it into little pieces, you can actually see that it's opening up the fibers of the wood, and this is deliberate. This is a design feature, and the idea is that encourages bacteria to get into the wood and starts the rotting process really quickly. So if you're using this just for weed control, something that you've shredded, you can put that on your flower borders and what have you. But in any case, in terms of composting, the process here, opening up the fibres of the wood here, really does set that process going really quickly. So it's really good for composting as well. And if you're taking it down the dump, obviously you can get an awful lot of this material in a bag in the car down the dump, rather than wrestling with branches and small trees, etc. So that's the AXT 25D drum shredder from Bosch.